Morocco, a land of endless contrasts. From the towering mountains of the high Atlas, of the sweeping desert plains to the thundering Atlantic coastline. Wide open spaces and stunning nature make it ideal for overlanding adventures. At the same time, the country is rich in history and culture, with ancient cities full of life and tradition. For many years, Morocco has been a popular travel destination, well developed for tourism and easy to explore. On our 1-month journey crossing Morocco from north to south, we try to find the less travelled roads. Quiet camp spots, stunning views, experiencing the vast Maghreb lands. The wind, our constant companion. We're Camillo and Anouk, and we converted Dakar, our 4x4 Mitsubishi Pajero, into a camper. Before starting university, we spent 3 years travelling and living in our car. On our second overlanding journey, we're travelling with our Dakar from Germany to Dakar, the capital city of Senegal. We spent 4 months on the road, driving 18,000 kilometres through northwest Africa.
The north of Morocco is still very green and European influenced.
After arriving by ferry in Tanger Med, we spent the first evening changing money and getting a local SIM card.
We head to a dried side arm of Lake Chahed to decide on our rough travel route through Morocco. The region around the lake has varied soils. The iron and limestone-rich clay give it a mix of vivid red and white colors. The lake is a nice first landing pause. We also sit out a day of rain and bad weather. The next day we pack everything together and take the rain-soaked track back to the main road.
In Chef Chaouen, a carpet merchant told us, if you go to Fes, you experience the old Morocco, the real Morocco. Fes is known for its potteries and tanneries. Here, leather is still manually tanned in stone basins. The process of tanning is almost the same as it was in the 9th century. Today, the tanneries are part of UNESCO, as is the historic Medina of Fes. These tanneries are not just production sites, they are living museums of craftsmanship, offering a window into a legacy that has endured millennia. The tanneries are well hidden in a maze of alleyways in the heart of the old Medina. So are many pottery shops, small doors leading into spacious riad courtyards. The adjoining rooms are full to the brim with assorted pottery.
After spending the day in the busy city, we head south. We're now on our way to the Atlas Mountains. As the altitude slowly rises, the temperature drops steadily. We spend the night between oak trees, letting the fog slowly engulf us. The morning is crisp and sunny. We spot the characteristic Barbary macaques which only live in North Africa, withstanding the freezing temperatures of the Atlas Mountains in winter. The landscape gets ever more barren. Beige-brown earth tones dominate the scenery. From afar we see the towering snow-capped mountains of the Middle Atlas.
We have a plan. We want to drive a 70-kilometer trek to the abandoned lead mines of Ahouli. We take a side road and reduce our tire pressure to embark on this little adventure. With all this open space, the unbridled wind howls over the countryside, letting the warmth of the sun vanish under its icy breath that it brought from the mountains.
The next day we reach the abandoned mining village. Up here on the mountain, the workers had their homes. The mines belonged to a French company during French colonial rule in Morocco. Until the 60s, the mines yielded tens of thousands of tons of lead annually, employing hundreds of workers. The mines were abandoned due to a mix of dropping lead prices and largely exhausted ore veins. Now the village is deserted, only the mosque is still intact. We eat lunch between the houses, protected from the wind.
We drive down the valley through a half-deserted village. Today, only a few still walk its streets. Curious travelers and those who continue to secretly search for ore and gemstones in the mines, even though most tunnels are at risk of collapsing. The track leading back to the main road gets adventurous.
The next morning we wake up to this. Didn't we drive to Africa so it would be a little warmer than at home in February? I mean, just a little warmer? We don't have a parking heater, so we first take out our thick winter jackets and free Dakar from the snow. It's too cold and windy outside, so we cram inside and eat our porridge. Mornings in which one questions one's way of traveling.
This is the day we will cross the Atlas Mountains. We are unsure if all roads are accessible with the freshly fallen snow, but decide to simply try. What else should we do? The road rises ever further up. We're lucky. Up here, it hasn't snowed. At an elevation of 3,000 meters, we pass a lake on a high plateau. As we drive down on the other side of the Atlas, we notice a drastic shift in climate. Like the Alps in Europe, the Atlas Mountains act as a natural climate barrier, blocking rain and moisture from the Atlantic Ocean and thereby making the south dry and hot, moving towards desert conditions. Suddenly, there are palm trees, and it feels more like what we imagined Morocco to be in the first place.
We take some trails to explore this new scenery. The hot and dry wind lets the dust dance in the air. We enjoy the vastness, how the eye can travel the horizon and never find its end. We're driving through Hamada, a type of desert landscape consisting of barren stony plateaus, typical of the North African Sahara region. Because the surface is mostly rocks and hard-packed soil, plants can only survive where water collects after rare rains. Small oases appear, attracting animals. We're now planning to head into the desert. Before that, we need to buy food, fill up on diesel, and spend some time planning. Every once in a while, we spend the night at a camping place, hoping for good internet, a blissful shower, and an easy possibility to refill our water tank. Sadly, in this case, the internet isn't good enough to download any offline maps, and water is strictly regulated. Well, sometimes you're unlucky. In general, the infrastructure for traveling with a camper is very good in Morocco. Many Europeans in motorhomes spend the winter hibernating in the warm south. The French supermarket chains are well stocked, streets are in good condition, and locals are used to travelers and speak good English, which makes communication much easier for non-Arabic or French-speaking people.
We have many really beautiful encounters. On the other hand, we also have the impression that the years of excessive tourism have taken a visible toll. Morocco can be tricky in the more touristic regions, just like any other heavily visited country. Friendliness isn't always genuine, and making money is often the underlying motivation. In the Middle East, we never thought twice about accepting a tea invitation. In Morocco, we become a bit more hesitant. We often have the impression that every chance is seized to make some money. Parking guards here, self-appointed guides there. We start to become very careful and clear in our communication when offers are made. We have the impression we learn a lot about assessing situations and people, listening closely to our gut feeling, and having the courage to stand up for ourselves when things seem off.
We drive towards a little town named Chahed in the Zaher region. This is our starting point for a 5-day 200 km Sahara expedition.
in Morocco, the Sahara Desert isn't one big desert, but rather many square kilometers of dune seas, which are called erg in Arabic. We plan to drive along and also venture into the dune seas.
We slowly get used to driving sand again. The car starts to bob up and down, the steering getting ever smoother as the tires sink into the soft sand. We reduce our tire pressure to 1 bar, enhancing the tire contact surface to the ground. We already drove on sand in Jordan, Saudi Arabia and Oman, but it always takes some time to get back used to it again.
The dunes are getting ever larger. We follow old tracks in the sand, heading towards the first dune sea, Erg Zaher. Before our eyes, an ocean of endless dunes unfolds. As we drive into the erg, the ground is all covered in sand. The dunes start to become steeper. The engine needs to work hard to carry the car up and down the dunes. The sensation of driving on sand is unlike anything else. The car feels like a boat floating over waves. The dunes, a huge playground to discover. We absolutely love it. This is the Lion's Dune. We pick our camping spot right beside the huge dune, so we can climb it.
The ascent takes longer than we expect, but the view from the top is worth every step. Even here, the wind roars around us, letting the sand dance through the air. The next morning, we bid farewell to this breathtaking spot and continue deeper into the desert. Day after day, we are immersed in this vastness, driving, exploring, trying to absorb every detail. The warm sand beneath bare feet, the dry dust in the air, the infinite silence rarely found elsewhere.
Our time in the desert is truly special. So special that we decide to dedicate a separate video to it. In that video, we take you along from the moment we deflate our tires at the edge of the erg, through dunes and dried out lake and river beds covered in bull dust. We share the exact route we take, how we set up camp in the middle of nowhere, and especially what we learn about driving on sand. If you'd like to dive deeper into this part of our trip, join us in the Sahara video and experience the desert with us, one dune at a time.
On our way out of the erg, we come across a small oasis. Here we stay for 2 nights, a place to rest, breathe and slowly digest everything we've experienced. We relax in our hammock between palm trees and observe the passing dromedaries drinking from the well. We also finally wash with fresh water. We wash off all the dust and sand that sticks to our skin. We wash our clothes, we wash our hair. We also seized the moment to cut my hair. We've been cutting our hair for many years, and especially on journeys like this, it's the easiest to do so yourself. No barber shop around for at least 100 kilometers, we're quite sure.
The next day, we leave the Oasis. We refill our tires so we can drive on road again. We drive through villages and small towns, and we stock on fuel, water, and food. It feels strange to be back, to have social interactions. In the desert, we almost forgot that we're in a faraway country. Here, the language barrier reappears. We pay in dirham and have to translate the prices in our head to euros. We enjoy looking out of the window, driving wherever the road takes us next.
The road takes us to the Painted Rocks near Tafraoute in the Anti-Atlas. Here, the Belgian artist Jean Verram created landscape art in the 80s by painting huge boulders in different colors. The painted rocks give the landscape a dreamlike atmosphere. In the hazy light, the soft blues and pinks of the rocks seem to echo the colors of the air itself. We enjoy taking some photos of Dakar within this beautiful scenery.
We drive west. The cool and humid wind of the Atlantic Ocean announces the sea. After more than 3 weeks, we reach the ocean again. Waves thunder onto the coast, exploding against the rocks and sending spray high into the air.
We search ourselves one last campsite here in Morocco. The coast is known for its impressive arches carved out of the red rock. Here we meet a friendly dog lady who accompanies us that sunny evening. We enjoyed our first 2,500 kilometers on African ground. Morocco pushed us, surprised us, and gave us memories we won't forget. And yet it feels like we've only scratched the surface of this country. Morocco is vast, and we would have loved to spend more time here. But our journey is taking us further south.
Ahead lies Western Sahara, a region often described as empty, monotonous, even dangerous. Few travelers linger here. Most head north shortly before Western Sahara, or rush through it in just a few days, seeing nothing but endless desert. But as we enter this disputed territory, we soon realize it hides treasures off the beaten path. For us, Western Sahara is far from boring. We find mysterious lakes in the desert, abandoned shipwrecks, and walk through snow-white dune fields. We're looking forward to taking you along. See you soon!